Welcome to this edition of Workplace Culture Wisdom, a conversation series with experienced leaders. I'm here with Delore Zimmerman, CEO and President of Praxis Strategy Group. Thank you, Delore.
Morning, Jerry. Glad to be here.
Right. Delore, Peter Drucker famously once said, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." So I'm wondering, what do you think about his statement, and have you had experiences with what he's alluding to here?
Well, I've done my fair share of strategic planning over the years, and it's I wouldn't say it's easy to come up with goals and objectives. Uh, Sometimes it's easier than others, but if you don't have people that are willing to work together in an amicable way and trying to achieve common objectives. That can be a real hindrance to achieving your objectives and strategies. So I think having a team, having people come together around some commonalities is very important.
Great. Thanks, Delore. As a business leader, what strategies have you used to invite people to speak up?
Well, I think one of the first things is to just be attentive to who's speaking and who's not speaking. I'm sure you've worked in groups where somebody dominates the conversation and it just starts going down one path without hearing from all the other people. And so I think being attentive to who's not being involved is very important and asking them what they think. That's always worked for me. And I think most people appreciate that. And some people are just shy. Some people don't think they know enough. And oftentimes telling people that there are no dumb questions is very helpful too, because that's a big concern for some people.
And you do a lot of international work, and do you find it challenging in some settings to encourage people to join in the conversations or participate?
Yeah, it can be particularly challenging because some of the African cultures are very hierarchical. So, on the economic side of things, some systems are big man economic systems. So it's taken for granted that the person at the top, the chief, the executive director, whatever it might be, is the one that makes the decisions. So oftentimes what you run into is people are very they would call it respectful of people's authority and position, but sometimes it's just a matter of, well, I don't want to say what I should say or what I know because it's not my place. So that can be a challenge, but I think the same thing applies there. Just be attentive to that and ask people what they think.
Thank you. Well, we're kind of in a time, where there's a bit of some chaos in the world, and so what's been some of your experience in dealing with when times have some uncertainty to them?
Well, I've always thought of myself as being someone who was a little more comfortable with uncertainty than other people.
Hmm.
And I think that's true generally. But, I think having people not think about the big picture only, but think about what they can do right where they're at that point in time, to achieve what they want to achieve is part of the solution. Not that we should understand the context within which we operate, and there is a lot of chaos, a lot of uncertainty, but you still can get people to say, let's do this, kind of a stepwise approach.
And again, in an international context, how does that sort of play out? Does it dealing with uncertainty play out differently culturally than here in the US, for example?
I think the way it plays out internationally is people kind of inclusion is very important to them. So sometimes what happens is people defer to the next person that should know about this or get involved, and they don't necessarily decide to do something or take the actions that are necessary to be taken. So that I see quite a bit, and they would describe it as our system isn't working because nothing ever happens. And I've seen that in several instances where nothing does happen because they're always trying to find somebody else to get involved. Uh,
And one last question, please. So, and again, you could be with your experience, because I know you've got a lot of experience across the US, but also internationally, is what kind of suggestions do you have for helping people feel valued in the workplace?
well, I think first of all, being a decent human being helps. Being respectful, not chastising or criticizing somebody during a meeting, I think is a way to go. I think you and I have talked about this before. Um, I've always taken the approach working with people. Uh, the quote from Maya Angelou about people will always won't remember what you said or did, but they always remember how they made you feel. You made them feel. I, I think that is just top of the equation for me. Whether it's a poor person living in a hut or a chief or some minister in an agency, just just being a nice person and respecting what they have to say is very important.
Great. Thanks, Delore. Go to worldviewprograms.com to learn more about our healthy workplace culture program options.